Hey everybody, I hope you're having a great Tuesday and finding some time to enjoy the sunshine of today. I think it's still chilly, but it's not too bad of a day, and so I hope you're having a great day. So today we're going to keep going with our squat progression, because squat is what we need to be able to do as a base. It builds core strength, it builds your leg strength to improve your jumps and your tumbling. And flyers need to have a good squat technique to be able to climb, and if you're doing co-ed or all girl, be able to have that leg strength to power you up. So I'm going to talk today about squatting like a baby, and some of the information that I will talk about I've learned through Anatomy in Motion and also through Kathy Dooley, and both are excellent. Go Google them and you can find all kinds of information. As you can see, I'm coming to you from my home gym and basement. Tiki the Wonder Cat will be probably joining us again today, just to, make it fun. I switched my layout around because I've moved some things around down in our basement, so it's a little bit crowded behind me, but I think this is the best view as far as lighting goes, so hopefully it all makes sense and you can see. All right, so how do you squat like a baby? Have you ever watched a baby squat? Like, it's pure perfection. They get down there, they are feet flat, their chest is up, their bottom is right down to their feet, and they just kind of hang out down there. And how they can do that, it's innate. So we've all had that ability, right? Considering normal development and that. And it's really cool. It's strong motor control, mobility, and strength. And stability. And so it's reflexive. And we kind of lose that as we get older. We lose our ankle mobility, we lose our core strength, we lose our chest and our upper back mobility as well. And so how do we work on getting that back in? We talked a little bit before about improving ankle mobility, and that's definitely a key factor, especially in jumpers and tumblers, because our calves tend to be, pretty strong, and so creating ankle mobility really can help that. Today we're going to do two exercises. One I call cogs, and this is just moving the pelvis, and mostly we're going to focus on the pelvis because that's what we need for the squat, but it works also up into your upper back and neck, and I have a whole separate video of that. If you're interested, I can share that as well, but we're going to focus on the lower body today with this. This, I think, is important to control. This exercise will help to control what we call butt wink. So butt wink happens when you get down into a squat. And if you've ever noticed, when we cheer, we're not bottoming out in our squat. We really just come down to parallel. But if we come down into a full squat, and I have some upper body limitations, but if your butt kind of tucks under and you round out, that generally means that you're missing some core control, and maybe some hip mobility along with that. It generally happens after you break 90 degrees. So again, we're not generally doing that, but if you're using the squat assessment that I posted yesterday, that will help to determine if you do a full squat, if you have this butt wink, and tells you that yes, indeed, you need some further control. So I find it hard. People find it that people really don't understand what the butt wink looks like, feels like. So learning a cog can actually help to improve that motor control and sensation to see what is your pelvis doing, and can they tune into what that feels like. So we're going to get into cogs first, and then we're going to do a happy baby exercise that I learned from Kathy Dooley and Dr. Kathy Dooley, and it will help improve your hip mobility and core stability, maintaining a neutral lumbar spine, which we find from doing our cogs. All right, hopefully Tiki likes to move so you can see me. So you're going to start on your back. Come on, scooch, 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 scooch. All right, so for our cogs, knees are going to be bent up, head's flat. If you need a small little towel roll underneath the back of your head, that's okay, but try to keep your head flat if you're able to. Try to keep your pets out of it. Real life, right? All right, come on. So here, these two bones in the front here are called your ASIS. And we're going to rock that ASIS back up towards your head. That's a posterior pelvic tilt that flattens your back into the floor. Then we're going to move those ASIS towards your feet. That's an anterior pelvic tilt, and you get an arch in your back. You can see how I can get my hand right underneath. So you go back and forth, posterior and anterior tilt. When we talk the butt wink, it's really a posterior tilt and your butt tucks under. Anterior tilt, you might notice that your cheerleaders or you tend to arch your back a lot as you squat, or even just in standing. And so really what we want is more of a neutral position, that it's not posterior, not anterior, maybe somewhere in between. And you may need to find, if as you're doing this is a great exercise if you have back pain. If you find the spot that's comfortable for you, it might be slightly anterior or it might be slightly posterior, but find the spot that's comfortable for you and then maintain that. So we have to learn how to do that anterior and posterior tilt to be able to find neutral, and neutral is where we want to be able to hang out and hold when we're lifting, and when you're basing, when you're climbing, as you get into a set position for anything. All right, so we found neutral in our lower back. We've gone back and forth about 5 or 6 times. Find neutral. Now we're going to keep this still and we're going to get into happy baby. To start, we need to exhale. We're going to lift our knees up to about 90 degrees. So this 90-degree angle here is a basic squat, right? If you look at me here, I am if I was standing up, I'd be in a full squat position. You can't quite see my feet. If you pull your knees in, so happy baby in yoga, we grab our feet and then we may move. But we want to work on the control of our spine. So we're just going to work on getting our hips and our knees coming in close without letting ourselves go into that posterior tilt and not letting your back arch. So keeping this neutral, bringing your legs in, and gradually you can work. I'm a little stiff today, so I do have to tip my pelvis to get there. I would work in a range that doesn't allow me to do that, and that you maintain here. You might have to start just breathing here, holding your legs up, keeping your shoulders relaxed, gradually coming in so that you can reach your feet. We should be able to eventually get here. Again, not tipping the butt way up off the ground, but keeping that neutral flat. Even just coming in and holding here or holding at the 90 degrees going in that direction will help build control through your lower body, your core, and gain some range of motion into the hips. You can see that if we were stunting, if we were in a set position here and we tend to really tuck under, we lose a lot of stability through the lower back. Same thing if we're overarching and we can't get that same hip range of motion, so we don't have the stability through our legs and our core to be able to solidly hold. This is a really great exercise, even just being here to hold, and learning how to breathe and control this. You could work on raising your arms overhead. And again, keeping things still to work the core a little bit more. And it's going to help build the stability and keep the upper back still, keep your upper body, your head straight, to build control so that you can transition that off eventually up into the standing position and a set position for building. Hope that's helpful. Work it to your fatigue. So fatigue means you start to shake or you lose form and come down. You can work at sets. I like to get there and work on just some breathing and work that position and control. As you start to be able to control that, and you can maintain your hip, your hip, knee, your lower back, and your core position, then you can take it into doing some movement such as leg rolls, leg extensions, and arm movements. The key is keep this part still. Find your neutral from your cogs. Keep this still. Then move your legs. Then move your arms to maintain a neutral position. That will help your squat tremendously. It'll help your set position if you are still cheerleading. And if you're if you're questioning, do I need to actually squat? I'm not cheering anymore, so I don't have to squat. Well, if you stand up and you sit down, you need to squat. If you've got kids and you're running around after them and they're down on the ground, you're going to want to squat to be able to pick them up. And if you're picking up, newspapers off the floor, you need to be able to squat and have mobility to be able to do that safely to protect your back. So a squat is a key exercise for anybody. Specifically, we're talking cheerleaders, ex-cheerleaders. Protect your back, learn how to squat properly, learn how to regain control in the pelvis. It will help you a lot. I hope that's helpful. Leave me some comments below. If you're checking this out on the replay, let me know it's a replay, and let me know your comments and your questions below. I'm happy to answer anything. You got to ask. If you don't ask, you won't know, right? All right. I hope that's helpful. Have a great day, and thanks for joining me in my basement today. Take care.